Yeah, it's Big Lamar, not the little one. Welcome to the channel. Justin Bieber and Usher got into a fight at the Jay-Z and Beyonce Oscar party. I'm wondering, what is going on here? I got a video that breaks down the details to that fight. It also goes in to explain what may have happened over the years in Justin's career that soured a lot of relationships that he has in the industry. I mean, if you ask me, I think Justin Bieber is just tired of being passed around like a backwood. Check this out, man.
Something wild just went down, and people are still trying to process it. At one of the most exclusive nights in Hollywood, things got messy fast. We're talking about Justin Bieber and Usher getting into a heated moment right in the middle of a party hosted by Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Whoa.
Yeah, that kind of party. And to make things even more interesting, 50 Cent has just broken his silence on the entire thing, and he had...
Oh man, 50 done chimed in. 50 Cent is one of the biggest trollers out there, man.
something extremely interesting to say. It was Oscar weekend. The city was packed with celebrities. Inside that party were stars like Hailey Bieber, Michael B. Jordan, Timothée Chalamet, Taylor Swift, and a long list of A-listers. This isn't the place where people argue. This is the place where you smile, stay cool, and keep things classy. But then everything flipped.
This one is blowing my mind. Justin Bieber and Usher reportedly got into a fight at an Oscars after party. Multiple people told
Like I said, Justin Bieber is probably tired of being passed around like a backwood. We all know Usher is the one that pretty much put Justin Bieber in the game, and then he just passed him off to Diddy. Here, hit this. And Diddy passed him off, and it's just been a big mess, man. So I can understand Bieber being mad at Usher, but I've been hearing that Usher was the one that was actually mad at Bieber, and that's part of the reason this fight jumped off.
TMZ that this fight turned into a physical fist fight. Then
What?
a source that's close to Justin Bieber told TMZ.
So this thing got physical. I can't imagine Usher or Justin Bieber getting into a physical fight, especially not with each other. I wish I could have been there to see that, man. I know that was some action.
That nothing physical broke out, but Usher walked up to Justin Bieber at this Oscar after party and was very heated and angry. And then things just escalated where they were both yelling at each other. I wish I could have just been a fly on the wall, because sources are also telling TMZ that Justin Bieber just wants to erase everybody from his past. This part really isn't surprising, because in 2025, when Justin Bieber was dealing with all of those things and following Scooter Braun and all of this, he also unfollowed Usher. We all know Usher and Scooter Braun are the ones that signed a very young Justin Bieber. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that Usher and Scooter Braun, they did Justin Bieber wrong, man. They really did, man. They took advantage of that young boy.
I can't help but think back when all of this was happening in early 2025, when a lot of us thought that Justin Bieber was very much struggling mentally, and we saw him removing himself from everybody in his past. The only thing that was ever...
Yeah, man, I mean, I believe that Usher, Diddy, Scooter Braun, people like that, they definitely had an effect on Justin Bieber's mental state and his appearance.
really reported is that Justin Bieber might have had some money that came up missing over a period of time, and he finally realized it. The reason...
That makes sense too, because ain't nobody gonna let anybody play with their money. So that definitely will cause beef. Okay, this thing is getting a lot clearer.
Why I found those reports so interesting is the fact that at the same time he was deleting Usher, Scooter Braun, and everybody from his life when he was younger, he also fired his business manager Lou Taylor of TriStar. Yeah, the Lou Taylor that was managing Britney Spears when she was put into her conservatorship. And yes, TriStar, her business, who was also named in the Diddy trial as allegedly paying some of the male workers. Honestly, this is some tea that I want to figure out what was the reason for this heated argument that almost allegedly turned into a fist fight.
After it was over, it is reported that Justin didn't stick around. He grabbed Haley and left. No talking, no explaining, no hanging out. There are serious issues at play here. Now, behind the scenes, Justin's team spoke up. They made it clear there was no physical fight. But they didn't deny the argument. They didn't deny the tension.
Okay, so I guess they cleared that part up. I guess they didn't actually get physical with each other. But the conversation got hella heated. And money probably was a big part of it.
And they didn't deny that Usher came in angry. But why? Over the past year, Justin has been quietly cutting people off. He unfollowed Scooter Braun. He distanced himself from his old circle. And yes, he unfollowed Usher too. That shocked.
Usher came in there, got up in Justin Bieber's face like, "You gonna cut me off, dog? I'm the one that put you on, dog." Usher was feeling some kind of way about that. Usher should be laying low, actually, especially after feeding them ladies them cherries over there in Vegas, after everybody knows the dirty secret that Usher has. I'm not gonna say it, but we all know what I'm talking about. Dirty mother.
Because in Usher's mind, he helped build Justin's career.
Right.
He introduced him to the industry.
Right.
He opened doors.
Right.
Without him, there might not even be a Justin Bieber as we know him. But from Justin's side, the story looks different. Because people aren't just talking about what happened that night anymore. They're going back, way back, to when Justin Bieber was just a kid.
Yeah, let's go back to that. Because there was a lot of funny business going on. Justin Bieber was young and naive, and people like Usher and Diddy took advantage of that. That wasn't right. Let's see what they're talking about.
And one name that keeps coming up is L.A. Reid. In his own memoir, he talks about the first time...
L.A. Reid. Another one. I'm sure a lot of secrets is going to come out about L.A. Reid. I mean, I believe he's on the same level as Diddy, if you know what I mean. I believe he groomed Diddy, actually. He taught Diddy pretty much everything Diddy knew and knows, and everything that Diddy was doing. He got it from that man.
Usher brought a 14-year-old Justin into his office. He describes Justin in a way that, for a lot of people, just doesn't sit right. Not just as talented, but in a way that made readers pause and think, hold on, why say it like that about a kid?
Did you guys know that when Justin Bieber signed his first big record deal, that the record label executive, L.A. Reid, described him as a gift from Usher, but hold on, he said much worse. Quote, "This kid was beautiful, like a woman can be beautiful and men rarely are."
Whoa. What kind of D&B talk is that? Especially about a young kid. Man, that music industry is sick. Seriously. What kind of, man.
And he turned it on as soon as he stepped into the room. L.A. Reid recalled how Usher brought Justin Bieber to him in October 2008.
Like I said, Usher passed him to Andre like a backwood. Justin is tired of being passed around like a backwood, if you ask me.
Saying he had something he wanted to bring him. Around 4 p.m. that day, Usher arrived in the office with an adorable 14-year-old boy, a boy that L.A. Reid was so excited to corrupt.
14-year-old Justin Bieber walks into my office as a gift from Usher. Said, "Hey, I'm coming to your office at 3 o'clock. I have a very special gift for you." That day, we made a deal to sign Justin Bieber.
Keep in mind, L.A.
Reid made a decision to sign Justin Bieber that day because he already knew that I'm about to bust this boy's back. He probably busted his back before he made the decision, actually. That's wild, man.
Reid is the one who sent Usher to Diddy's Flava camp, the same camp that Usher said he would never send his children, but willingly sent Justin Bieber. L.A. Reid.
So Usher passed Justin Bieber to L.A. Reid like a backwood. Then L.A. Reid passed him to Diddy like a backwood. And the whole time, I believe that they was busting that boy's back. Sick.
Wrote in his memoir that Justin had a beautiful face, trendy hair, and natural charisma. L.A. Reid himself discovered Usher, and they would often exchange gifts, so I guess like pop stars to each other. Keep in mind that L.A. Reid has been accused of crimes similar to Diddy, SA, and
I'm sure.
He was quoted saying, "I could see immediately that Justin's hair would be every bit as important as his songs, his..."
That man was in there talking about, I love his hair. I'm obsessed with his hair. That man is sick. He need to be locked up right next to Diddy, sound like. And it might be happening sooner than we think.
Voice, his face, his presence. These people absolutely objectified Justin Bieber in the worst way possible, and I'm looking forward to their downfall.
Usher himself once admitted that his own experience as a teenager around that same environment was wild, full of things he didn't fully understand at the time. He even said later he would never put his own kids in that situation.
A lot of people believe.
Usher did say that, and I believe his reasons for that is because he don't want his kids being turned out the way he got turned out. Diddy turned that boy out. Probably Diddy and Andre turned Usher out.
That, you know, Usher was groomed by Diddy.
He wasn't only groomed by Diddy, he was groomed by L.A. Reid, the rest of them too, man.
Right.
Because they knew what happened.
I think I keep saying Andre Harrell when I think about it. But I mean L.A. Reid. So excuse me for that, y'all, if I did make that mistake. L.A. Reid, back bussin' king.
Then they came out and brought him back, and all of a sudden, he's getting all the great tracks. He's getting all the songs. They making him into this star, even though he may have been a...
They seem to be pretty good
He
friends.
was.
Well, they probably is.
I mean, they did a lot of work together, man, throughout their whole career. You know, Puff was
Bruh.
early in his career. Puff and Usher were working together when Usher was just a kid, all the way up. I mean, you know, I think there's videos from not too long ago when they were together, and you know, Puff is making jokes about how they used to wrestle for the Frosted Flakes in the morning, and
Yeah, I bet they did.
you know,
Somebody...
Gene Deal, which is one of Puffy's ex-bodyguards, he knows a lot. He was behind the scenes, and I'm sure he's seen and heard a lot. He was outside that bedroom door listening. That's for damn sure. Gene Deal know what he talking about, man.
Frosted
You know-
somebody frosted somebody flakes.
Right.
Without the milk.
Yep.
what do you
Without the
think
milk. Without the milk. Straight baby oil.
it is that keeps Usher from coming out or saying anything?
Because, yo, dog, it's
Usher ain't coming out saying anything about Diddy because he was in love. Usher was in love with Diddy, and Diddy was in love with Usher. In my opinion, I'm not saying that. This is information that's out there. This is just my opinion. I think they were in love.
you got to realize in that industry, a lot of people are stand back and say, well, it happened to me. That's how some of them people pay their dues.
But fans are now asking, if that's how he felt, then why was Justin placed around the same circles? Because when you look at him today, you see a completely different Justin. Quiet, distant, cutting people off without making a scene. It seems Justin may have actually suffered quite a lot under the tutelage of those two, especially Usher.
I agree, and you definitely seen it in Justin Bieber's appearance. You could definitely tell that something was wrong, and I believe that it had a lot to do with Usher and Diddy and what they did to that boy. I believe that. Jaguar Wright. You know she got something wild to say. Let's check it out.
Jaguar Wright, someone known for speaking out about the industry, came forward with strong claims about what she believes really happened behind the scenes. Now, to be clear, these are her allegations, not confirmed facts. But the reason they're getting attention is because they connect pieces of a story people are already questioning. She suggested that Usher played a bigger role than people.
I knew it was something funny going on with Usher when he dyed his hair like that. That's when I knew his middle name was Sugarfoot and he had been getting his back busted. And perhaps he was doing some back busting as well with Justin Bieber and Diddy Bop.
Will realize when it came to introducing a young Justin Bieber to Sean Diddy Combs. According to her, this wasn't just casual industry networking. It was something deeper, something more serious.
Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious it is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Right.
Smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital.
Right.
They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Right.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours.
I think Jaguar is on to something here. So Puffy had been trying to get his hands on Bieber. Man, they liked it, that little blonde-haired boy, didn't they? They all wanted a piece of that. That's wild. And then Usher finally gave Diddy what he wanted. I wonder why he did that.
Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about.
Whoa. So, Diddy and Usher was eating Frosting Flakes one morning, and then one thing led to another, and Usher ended up going to the emergency room because he got his back busted. Wow. Diddy sent Usher to the hospital after a back busting. That's what happened. I'm putting it all together, y'all.
And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
Whoa.
Does that sound like a good guy?
No.
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that
Not
we
at
know
all.
what Diddy's really like. What kind of do you gotta be?
Shame on you, Usher Raymond. Sent that young boy in there to the diddler, and you knew what was gonna happen. You knew Diddy wanted to bust that boy's back. just like he busted your back. And you sent him over there anyway.
To take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you no more.
Whoa. Jaguar Wright got a point right there. She got a point right there. Usher took Bieber over to Diddy so he didn't have to get his back busted anymore. He basically took Bieber over there to replace him to get him out of that situation. He didn't want Diddy busting his back anymore. So it's like, here, I'll give you Justin Bieber. You always wanted him. Leave me alone and do what you got to do or do what you want to do with him. Man, that's dirty, man. The industry is definitely dirty, man. The music industry is dirty.
Because that's what do. They get victims, and then once they get to a certain age and they get too old for them to enjoy them, they send them out to go get other young.
Oh.
Now, if
excuse me. So basically, that makes sense, because Diddy does like them young. So Usher was probably getting too old for Diddy. He didn't want that no more. He wanted something young. Oh, man. This blows my mind, man. Jaguar Wright definitely blows the lid off of things. She's making a lot of sense to me. Usher got too old for Diddy. Diddy wanted a young thing. God damn, man. Diddy need to stay in there. They need to keep Diddy in jail.
Usher is a procurer. And if Usher knew what was going to happen to any of those young children that he took to the Flavor Freak office, he a good guy.
Because think about the timeline people keep bringing up. Justin was very young, still learning, still trusting the adults around him. And the people guiding him, they were some of the most powerful names in the music business. Usher knew the dangers better than anyone, and it seems he just perpetuated that cycle.
You look at Usher. What Usher say? I seen some things I shouldn't have been seeing at that age. What does that tell you? That he's seen some things, he was around some things when he was young that he shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. So that's going to show you that there's certain things that are happening that's going on that here it is, this kid was saying he shouldn't even seen it and been around it himself.
At that age, you don't question things. You follow, you trust. And that's exactly why fans are now looking back and asking harder questions. Not just about what happened, but about who was responsible for putting him in those situations in the first place. It might also explain something else people can't stop talking about. Why Justin turned down big opportunities connected to his past. Even moments that should have been career highlights, like sharing a stage again with Usher. Most artists would jump at that. But Justin didn't, and it seems he has long had a bone to pick with Usher.
You get career, do you know Raymond Usher IV?
No.
Do you know an individual, an entertainer by the name of Usher?
Yeah, Usher, that sounds familiar.
Isn't it true that Usher was instrumental in starting your career?
What does that have to do with this litigation, Mr. DeKalb? This is just you trying to the client.
Before we came back here, you would have.
Man, I could see the pain in Justin Bieber's face when they bring up Usher's name. Usher did that boy wrong, man. And he was doing him wrong for a long time. It just took Bieber to get a little older to realize how they were misusing him. Usher need to be locked up next to Diddy, man.
It's me.
She's gonna
Let her read back the question. Thank you for your memory.
found.
Is it true that Usher was very instrumental in starting the
That was the last question. I was found on YouTube. I think that I was detrimental to my own career.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you at all. I'm sitting right next to you. Okay,
I said I think I was instrumental to my
let me
own
hear back
career.
from the court reporter.
Instrumental.
Said I think I was instrumental to my own career.
Thank you, sir. But my question was Usher, was he helpful to your professional career?
Yes.
Is Usher a close friend of yours?
Yes.
Is Usher a confidant?
I guess, yes.
Has Usher given you career advice?
Is this an interview or a deposition? I'm confused.
Please, sir.
And now, people think they understand why. The worst part of this all is that it isn't just Usher and L.A. Reid. Justin's ex-manager, Scooter Braun, also did some truly horrific things to him.
I think another reason why Justin Bieber doesn't just come right out and say what exactly happened to him as far as him getting his back busted and things of that nature is because it's embarrassing as well, and it could mess up his image. I believe that's another big reason why he doesn't just come out and say, yeah, Usher busted my back, Diddy busted my back, and so on and so forth. He's trying to save his image as well, and he doesn't want to be embarrassed.
At one point, Scooter openly admitted something that shocked a lot of people. He said there was a time he truly believed Justin might not make it through the night, that things had gotten so bad. He was scared Justin wouldn't wake up the next morning.
Was there ever a time that you looked at him and be like, yo, we lost this kid?
There was a time where I would go to sleep almost every night when he had the money to fly away from me. And I was worried every night that I was going to lose him. And that was the time where I was telling him he's not allowed to work. And he used to yell and scream at me, and like he wanted to put music out, he wanted to tour, but I thought if he did that, he would die.
Right.
So I just refused. Like, we weren't making any money. It wasn't like I was trying to take advantage. Like, I didn't want him to work because I wanted him to get healthy.
So when you say lose him, you thought?
I thought he was going to die. I thought he was going to go to sleep one night and have so much in his system that he would not wake up the next morning. And
Man, that's terrible. That boy was doing so many drugs to cover the pain. That's what that was. And that's what brought him into that spiral that we seen him go into. You know, just looking all depressed and everything. Man, these people caused that. That boy was a happy young boy in the beginning. But the things that they did to him definitely made him depressed, man. And made him start doing a lot of drugs. He may even got a little, you know, the S word. I'm not going to say, you know, he might have took his own self out, you know. And the only thing that's probably been making him a little better these days is the fact that people like Diddy is getting called out and getting sent to jail for these things. That's probably what's making Justin Bieber feel a little better, and he's coming outside a little bit more, looking a little bit more normal these days. Man.
I was trying to monitor him from a distance. I would fly after him at times, like all kinds of different stuff. And there's a lot of times where people give me credit for him changing, or people on my team. And I don't think any of us deserve the credit. I think that he made a conscious choice for himself to change.
That tells you how serious things were behind the scenes. But then, not long after, Scooter said something else that raised even more eyebrows. He admitted that he used manipulation to manage Justin.
Tell me I'm old. As a young man, if I don't allow him to make mistakes, he'll never learn. So I think my job is less about stopping him now and more about when he does fall, I got to be there to help him get back up. When it comes to what's happened to him the last 9 months, it took its toll because I had to remind myself what was real and what wasn't. Because I think at one point the media started spinning so much that you can't address everything. And I had to kind of remind myself of what is reality and what is being blown up out of proportion.
I get a lot of heat because I stand up for Justin. I'm Team Bieber. I've said it a million times on the show. But his fans want to honestly know from someone who knows him very well, is Justin in a good place right now?
He's figuring out who he wants to be. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that every 19-year-old is in that place where they're trying to figure out in life where they're going, where they want to be, what they want to represent, and that's a struggle. The answer is yes, as far as he's a good natural place. Is he in a good place as far as, is he, happy all the time and is everything easy? No, absolutely not. But with that adversity is going to come, it's going to blossom into manhood.
How much of the negative press is deserved, Scooter?
Look, I think 90% of it is not deserved, but it's our culture. I think that there are times where, being a teenager, he will be frustrated with the lies about himself, and then he will actually act out and give them more ammo. Great Wall of China is a perfect example. Spent 2.5 hours walking on the Great Wall of China, visiting stuff, shooting stuff, hanging out with friends, taking in the sights.
Now he tried to frame it like it was for Justin's own good, like he was protecting him. But think about how that sounds. And Justin wasn't the only one. Around the same time, Taylor Swift came forward with her own issues involving Scooter. When he bought the label that owned her early music, she said she felt controlled, like decisions about her own work were being made without her.
Man, this Scooter guy, he's a big part of it too. It's crazy, man. All of these people did this young kid so wrong, man. It's bogus, man. And they all need to be held accountable. Diddy is not the only one. Scooter Braun, Usher, they need to go to jail. If you ask me, it sounds like it.
She even described the situation as ongoing manipulation and said she never wanted to be tied to him in the first place.
I knew he would sell my music. I knew he would do that. I couldn't believe who he sold it to, because we've had endless conversations about Scooter Braun, and he has 300 million reasons to conveniently forget those conversations.
Now, could you re-record?
Oh, yeah.
Might you do that?
Oh, yeah.
That's a plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
That wasn't a small accusation, and Scooter's response made things all the more suspect.
When I bought Big Machine, I thought I was going to work with all the artists on Big Machine. I thought it was going to be like an exciting thing. I knew that Taylor, she and I had only met 3 times, I think in my life, 3 or 4 times. And one of the times, it was years earlier, it was really a great engagement. She invited me to her private party, and we respected each other. We had a great engagement. In between that time, since I'd seen her last, I started managing Kanye West. I managed Justin Bieber. I knew she didn't get along with them. I had a feeling, this is where my arrogance came in. I had a feeling she probably didn't like me because I managed them, but I thought that once this announcement happened, she would talk to me, see.
I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think that she just found out about your reputation. She heard about you, man. And that's when she made the decision that she did not like you or want to work with you or have anything to do with you. Didn't have anything to do with you working with Kanye or whoever. It's just all about your rep, man. The things that you are responsible for and the things that you have done. She found out. And that's all it is, bottom line.
Who I am, and we would work together. And the announcement came out, and I'm calling Scott Borchetta and saying, hey, send me her number. I just talked to Thomas Rhett, and he's excited, and I just talked to, this person, and they're excited, and I'm calling, Florida Georgia line next, and and then this Tumblr comes out and it says all this stuff, and I was just like,
this Scooter Braun, he looks like a snake. He looks pretty slimy to me. I don't really know who this guy is, but just from seeing him right now, He looks like a slimy snake to me.
Like shocked.
And she wasn't alone. Todrick Hall, who used to work with Scooter, also spoke out. He claimed he felt ignored, threatened, and used during his time under that management. Others defended Scooter, but the pattern was starting to stand out. Even with stars like Ariana Grande, there were moments where people questioned how much pressure was being put on her, especially during some of the hardest times in her life.
Ariana has a hell of a voice, and she is the sweetest, nicest person. And it's a pleasure to work with her because everything that happens to her is so exciting.
Well, apparently it hasn't always been a pleasure working with Ariana Grande. Scooter Braun is opening up about the time she fired him.
At the end of the day, I just sort of have to focus, know my truth, work hard, be nice to everyone you meet, and just not fight back. I try to create and maintain, but sometimes it's very hard.
Speaking at Fast Company's Innovation Festival this week, Scooter revealed the Break Free singer let him go in 2016, hinting it was all due to her boyfriend at the time. Quote, "I could have said a lot of stuff, and in fact my team wanted me to. They were like, never take her back. But I just said, let's stay quiet and let our truth be our actions." Adding, when boyfriends leave, she starts to see the light on some stuff. Scooter took Ariana back on as a client, and he says the whole thing actually made him a better manager. Quote, "I had never been fired before. It made me know that as much as you give to people in a service business, you can never expect anyone to reciprocate. You have to do it for the right reasons, and if you get screwed over in the end, so be it."
I just needed to do, what was right and work hard, and my work will speak for itself.
Now, it's unclear who the, quote, boyfriend was, as the timing falls somewhere between Ariana's relationships with Big Sean and Mac Miller, who died unexpectedly at the age of 26 this September.
Scooter later admitted he pushed her to perform again after a tragedy, saying he believed it was the right thing. Maybe it was, but it still shows how intense that environment could be. Individually,